hammers it down. Suns, Booker for the win. Yes! Booker, this is for the win. Got it! Wow!
Suns fans, what's going on, everyone? How are we feeling after tonight? Y'all sweating? Y'all not worried? Was it a trap game? A lot of emotions going on. DA playing well, Booker going off in the fourth. A lot of things we need to talk about before the back-to-back coming up this week. Gabe, how we doing, man?
I'm doing good. How do I sound?
You look good. You sound good, man. Doesn't look like we have
All right.
internet issues, but I'll let you know.
You sound a little bit reverby. Guys in the chat, will you guys let us know if Coach sounds weird or if it's just me? It could easily be me. Just let us know. But yo, guys, what a game, right? I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not mad, Coach. I'm so happy about DA that it's overshadowing the fact that we only won by 3 and gave up 130 to a G League team. What were you thinking, man? Were you salty during this game? Guys in the chat, Salty is Gaming specifically. He's in the chat. What's good? What did you guys think? Were you mad during this game? I mean, it was a weird one. We tried everything we could to give it back to them and let them win the game, but we're just kind of that team, don't you think? We're just that team that has it. We just gain control in the fourth quarter, no matter where we are in the game, and I love it, man. It's like having Tom Brady or having Aaron Rodgers or God, just name a solid QB, and it's Chris Paul taking care of us in the fourth quarter. Iverson Vlogs, what's good, bro? Brendan King, what's up, man? We appreciate you. Roy, thanks for being here. Basketball Football Guy, burner account. He says, name a better duo than Valley Podcast and Delays. Seriously, man. No, tonight.
Do I sound better? How's that?
Perfect, dude. You sound perfect.
Great.
And you look perfect, if I'm being completely honest. So, guys, tonight we're starting a little bit later after the game. We wanted to give everybody a chance to watch this national title game. But correct me if I'm wrong. Baylor's got it in the bag. Is it over?
That was not a game. Just hit the wrong one. That was not a game. That was a blowout, man. I feel bad for our friend up in Portland right now. Our friend Tori over on the Blazers Uprise.
Man, Tori, we love you, bro. And you're the only person I thought about during this national championship game. Only person I know that cares about Gonzaga. That sucks, man. Baylor just came in and put it on them.
I actually want to talk about that for a minute. Sports and sports and breaking your heart. Gabe, when was the last time a game just ripped out your soul? You wanted to throw the TV over a mountain and give up on life. When was the last time sports did that to you?
Chicago Bears double doink versus the Eagles.
With double doink. Was that obviously it wasn't this year. Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Not this year, not the year before, but the year before that.
Yeah. I remember watching that being like, wow, I can't believe the Bears are going to win a game.
Trubisky put them in position to beat the returning Super Bowl champs, the Eagles, and they double doink it off both ends of the field goal or the goalpost. It was terrible, man. It was terrible. What about you?
Facts. Last time that happened, anytime I go to an Arizona State-Utah game and Arizona State loses, doesn't matter if it's gymnastics. So I just get scolded there every time I go to one. But legitimately didn't want to talk to anybody. Probably the I guess it would have been 2016, but the 2015 Cardinals when they had Carson Palmer and David Johnson was a rookie, and we got our ass handed to us by the Panthers in the NFC Championship game. That was really bad. But we all have that point as sports fans where we just don't care, and it sucks because sports is awesome, right? You learn so many life lessons when you're playing. It's fun to play. When you're watching it, you invest so much time into a team like we do, right? Look at all the shit that we buy for a team,
For For sure.
We take time to do it. You make special travel plans to go to a game every year. You know what I mean? So we have so much invested for something that doesn't give us anything. Like, we're not going to go hang out with the players. We're not going to get free anything or high fives because you bought a damn jersey. You know, we're just out money and time.
Yeah.
So when our team sucks, like we have for 10 years, or our teams blow it at a critical point, it just takes your soul, man.
Tonight was almost one of those take your soul nights. Am I wrong? I mean, if we would have lost that game to the Rockets, this would have been a completely different podcast, you know? I mean, but I didn't feel like they were out of control at any moment. Even when it got as close as it did.
Even at the 101-101 tie and we go to timeout and everything?
I wasn't scared. I swear to God, bro, I was not scared. Were you guys scared in the chat tonight during the game? Let us know. Were you guys worried that the Suns were going to give this one away? I mean, you were? Yeah, I was.
For a second, I was.
I'm getting used to it. I think I'm getting used to it. You know, and especially once DA came back in the game. This was a great game, everybody, for DA.
Yeah,
what was your thoughts, DA? Agree. Okay, so let me talk about DA real quick. So not only did DA, he started out bad, right? He had 2 points and 1 rebound.
If you're gonna bring up how good he is, you got to bring up that bunny that he airballed in the beginning.
There was 2.
There was 2, but he airballed 1.
He starts the game and he smokes 2 layups. And Eddie Johnson's like, you know, he normally doesn't try one-handed layups because he doesn't have as big of hands as most guys his size. I'm like, don't go there, Eddie. Like, he should be, you know. So I was worried. I was worried that I was going to have to take back all my glowing responses about DA. But no, 2 points, 1 rebound in the first quarter. And then I tweeted this. It's like he figured it out. He just realized, man, Wood doesn't weigh anything. He can't stop me. He's not as tall, and he weighs like 50 pounds less than me. And he started going at him, and he started sprinting up court, and he started getting his hand ready for the ball, and he started fighting for position. And he'd get that ball, and he'd give him a couple of body shots, and then hit a hook. His hook was hitting tonight. He started getting that little turnaround going. DA with, 27 points tonight, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks. Thank you, DA. Thank you. And I tweeted this. You could tell there was a moment where it clicked for him and he realized no one on this roster for the Rockets can stop me. Nobody can touch me. I'm waiting for him to realize that that's the whole NBA. No one can touch him in the NBA. Embiid doesn't even really play that good a defense. Jokic never could hold him, even when he was playing his worst basketball. So, bro, Brennan, you are right, man. DA was outstanding tonight. Outstanding.
I got to show you something real quick. I'm going back and forth with Tori right now on Twitter.
About Gonzaga?
Yeah, I just feel for the guy because we've all been there. I'll bring that up again real quick. That just sucks, especially for a team like Gonzaga, too. You know, you're not in a Power 5 conference, and you steamrolled everybody. That just sucked. But DA, yeah, he had 16 points at halftime, so he scored 14 in the second.
Yeah,
I know Booker had a really good first. It's hard to really judge this game for a few reasons. One, no legitimate big to go up against DA, so I feel like this is what you're supposed to do. But I'm glad he did it. I mean, he could have had 14 and 9, right? And we'd have a different conversation maybe. So it's good that he did this. He already did it against Houston his first game. He had 27 and 16, I think, his first game. I looked at it earlier. So he did what he's supposed to do. Booker did what he was. The team did what they're supposed to do. And Brendan's right. A win is a win, especially on the road. And it's a quick little. It's not like the end of a road trip or the beginning. It's a one little road trip game. Then you come back home against the Jazz and the Clippers. So this was definitely a trap game in every scenario. You know what I mean? It's just hard for me to judge the team off of this.
It was such
a trap. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It was such a trap game, Coach, that I didn't even think it was going to be a trap game. That's how, I mean, we should have.
Such a trap game. You didn't even think it was going to be a trap. Yeah.
No, yeah. And here's why. You got 2 primetime games coming up against the 2 teams that matter, the Clippers and the Jazz, right? And you're coming off a game where you just boat raced a team 140 to 103. Did you see that the Trailblazers beat them by like I think it was like 48 or something the next night?
Yes, and you're NBA player, man. You're gonna come out. Have you ever played basketball and maybe you didn't have a good performance or maybe you did, but the rest of the team was just awful and you lose like a game to 21 to 6 for like no effing reason. They were just hot, not running. They've played together. You know what I mean? You come out the next game and you're like, no, I'm not sitting for another game. You know what I mean? These are NBA players. Doesn't matter how bad they are. We've already lost to the worst teams in the league, right? They're NBA players. They have an ego just like everybody else. They were the shit at their high school and their inner circle. You know what I mean? They're going to come out firing every single game, especially after you lose by 30 or 40. Suns did it multiple times. If you remember in the really, really bad years, we would lose by 30 or 40 points, go into the next game against the LeBron Cavaliers and like have a halftime lead of 1. And then the wheels would fall off. You know, like these things just happen. We're a good team. We got the Jazz and the Clippers coming up, man. This is the biggest game of the year, right? We say that, but it's the biggest game to this point again, right? This is the biggest game to this point.
No, 100%. This is the biggest game of the year because both teams have worked themselves into a lather. We're literally 1-2 in the West, which means we're 1-2 in the whole. You got to give the Nets. So we are a top 3 team right now. They're a top 3 team. And it doesn't get any bigger than this, man. It does not. And that's why it was such a trap game. You really focusing on that. We had a big win before. It seemed like we were just going to walk through them. But the Rockets came out with a real chip on their shoulder mentality tonight. But
everything
they were, but then so were we. It was like right off the bat, they were hitting us. And then Chris Paul and McHale and Booker we slapped like 5 or 6 threes in a row.
McHale looks smooth tonight. That hitch that we thought he had, that's like gone again.
Hitch was gone, but then what happens to Dario? Gone. He looks just as bad as he was, like a week or so ago. So I was going to ask you this, Coach, and I wanted to ask everybody in the chat. Do you guys think that Dario is any less inconsistent than DA? Or are they equally inconsistent? Because I'm starting to think that they're equally inconsistent.
I at this point, I would agree. I didn't think I would say that about Sarge, but who was it that we had on? Was it Romp 2.0 that said during the trading deadline, like Dario always? No, it was the Dario fan, Super Dario or whatever.
Yeah, Dario Party.
Yeah, Dario Party. They said Dario around the trading deadline, he's always sketchy or nervous or something like that. So when we see him play in the bubble, there was obviously you can't trade, you can't do anything. This is your team. So he went balls to the wall and looked very confident with everything, right? So when we see him now doing that after the trade deadline, you really start to wonder about it. I've had Dario's back more than any other player on the Suns team. I called out Chris Paul. I've called out DA, Booker, Jay Crowder, McHale, everybody. Not so much Dario. But man, if you are the 6th man off the bench, the dude off the bench where you can come in at literally any spot, because we can always move McHale to the 2 or whatever, right? You have to be effective. You have to. You can do the 0 for 6 or 0 for 3 game with 2 points and 2 rebounds every once in a while, but you can't do that. You have to be consistent. You're the one dude off the bench. Shout out to Cam Johnson. He looks like he's really getting back to form. Nobody else did anything on the bench. Torrey Craig, 2 points. Cam Payne, 2 points. Javon Carter had 3 points, but he did have some stifling defense. Nobody else did anything on the bench, but Dario, you've got to be the cog, bro.
He's got to get it going, man. He's got to get it going. He's so important to this team. And it's not important right now when we're playing teams like this, but it's going to be important in a couple of nights versus the Jazz and equally as important during the Clippers game.
If not more so, he more so, right? Everything's going to be compounded. Every little loose ball that you lose or whatever. And he's had COVID. He had all those injuries. Like, I get it. But I feel like you've been back long enough now to where this shouldn't be an issue. And you should kind of... The one thing I could say that would maybe be devil's advocate was, you haven't played with Torrey Craig too much and you're still the rotations in the second unit have been all over the place. So maybe he hasn't been able just to get his footing under him as far as that is concerned. But if that's the only thing that we're saying, then that's a really bad outlook on you, bro. But would you rather have him or Aaron Baines right now? Dead honest.
Sark or Baines?
Yeah.
Oh, Sark still gives you so much more. Sark gives you so much more.
So we still made the right decision in hindsight.
Yeah, we did. And I'm not upset with him. It was just interesting. I thought he was back. You guys in the chat, didn't you think that Dario was back? I mean, he was locked in, but tonight, all his threes, I could tell they were going to miss the second they left his fingers.
Yeah, me too. It was awful.
And coach just finally pulled him. But back to DA, it was so cool to see him not only engaged, not only hitting, not only being physical, but bro, we talk about this with Salty. He was the key in the fourth quarter. Getting him back in the game meant everything to us. When we were tied up towards the end of the game, him coming back in was like, hey, we're good now. You know why? Because DA's here and he's got us. What a weird feeling. What an amazing feeling for him to come in and everyone to know, yeah, we're going to start going to DA here in crunch time. And they didn't have to quite as much, but his presence meant everything. Getting them blocks down there, changing shots in the paint.
His defense was there tonight. His help defense was there tonight. His help defense was tremendous. And his little things that he did on rebounding that we talked about at the beginning of the year, even when we were bashing him, what did we all say? His rebounding has Dennis Rodman-like qualities. And that's starting to come back. You see him grabbing the ball and keeping it there. And then you see the muscles flex. Like he's squeezing that. Like no one's going to get that from him. Yeah. You actually see that now. And then he's pivoting and still keeping it high and not coming down and losing it. He's doing those little things and getting in position again.
He needs to start throwing elbows. And you know what I mean. You know there's no.
He'll get called for it. He'll get called for them.
You know there's a proper way to throw elbows, right?
I know.
You get that rebound, you clutch it in, and you just work it back and forth.
Who's this loser that just got on being like, I think the Blazers are better than the Suns now? Who is this guy?
That can't be Geek because he's tied up in the basement right now.
I thought so. But I heard a rumor that you may or may not be letting him out for the doubleheader Wednesday, Thursday.
He'll have a longer leash. And he'll have a better options for food that night. But I don't know about
Fire Monty. Yeah.
There's no way that's Suns Geek.
He's salty from the basement right now. So if it is Suns Geek, welcome. If it's not Suns Geek, you're an asshole and don't do that.
There's no way that's Suns Geek. Suns Geek is too geeky for the Suns. He wouldn't be in here hating. But yeah, man. So happy with DA. I give him an A+ tonight. I wrote down in the beginning of the game, there's no reason for him not to have 20 and 20. I'll gladly take 27 and 11. But about that part you're talking about, him getting the rebounds and keeping it up high and like really fighting. I don't know, man. They're still ripping that thing out of his hands sometimes. They're still slapping it out. That's what I'm saying. He needs to throw some elbows. There was a point, did you catch it, where Eddie Johnson's like, can you imagine what Shaq would have done if people were reaching on him like that when he got the ball? Because he got the ball on a pick and roll, and he was just going to try to go straight up, but he couldn't. The guy just kind of like held him. Like Shaq would have just, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like even Embiid, you got to hurt them. It's like, if you want to get physical with me, you're going to realize that I'm a monster, and I'm going to like when he was backing down Christian Wood and throwing his weight into him. I'm sitting here just saying, hurt him. Make his body hurt, DA. Make him not want to guard you. He needs to do that. Don't reach in on me. I'm DA. I will effing hurt you. You know? I think that's the next step for him, but I can't be mad at him, bro. I'm giving him an A+ tonight. What's your grade for him?
A+. He came in and he did a lot of things in the second quarter that kept the lead for us, that kept it even growing. He was damn near dominant. The one thing I have to bring up, and I got to give credit to Monty, and I hope you and Salty saw this. DA goes out with about 212, 215-ish, something like that, right? We squander the lead in like the 4 minutes he's gone. So we're at the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and then we call that timeout, right? And it's 101. 2 or 3 possessions go by, and I see DA start walking to the scorer's table at like the 9:04 mark. So that's 5 minutes of game time, like not real time, 5 minutes of game time where the guy that was hot and doing good, he's bringing back in. This is Monty bringing him back in. Now, Dario went to the line the next possession, so they didn't have a break in the action until about 8 minutes, a little less than 8 minutes, something like that. So he was going to bring him in a full minute and a half sooner, which is something that Monty hasn't done. He'll ice Booker until the 6 minute mark in the fourth quarter, right? And in the second quarter.
So you feel like Monty did a better job of rotations?
The management was good. I think the play of the game,
I saw
the play
it.
of the game was fouling up 3 with like 3-4 seconds left and sending Christian Wood. Always foul up 3 with seconds left.
That's right. That's a great call. I was gonna say the play of the game. Let me see what I wrote down here for that. So it was 117 to 114. I think there might have been like 3 minutes left. Book hits a 3. Paul hits a 3. And then it's 123 to 114. That's what it felt like for me. It felt like those two just came down and hit back-to-back big buckets.
That was so nice to see our stars doing that.
Yeah. That's what separates us. Didn't this game feel the way – don't you remember when we were the Rockets? And we had Booker and these lowly players, and we'd play a team like, okay, you know what this game reminded me of? It reminded me of that Tyler Ulis step back 3 to beat the Celtics.
When we got the inbound steal and everything. Yeah.
Yes. So when Kelly Olynyk got that steal, came down and stepped into a effing 3, that was making me think this is like the Celtics. And see, we used to be in the Rockets position where it was like, can you believe the Suns are going to pull off this win versus a top team? And oh my God, they did. No. See, now we're the good team who you think you're going to pull off a win against, but we got CP3 and we got Book. And we have 8.
Yeah. I remember losing all those games and just, we could say so many times. We literally did everything. We hit every 3. We did this. We did that. You know what I mean? And it just didn't matter. So
couldn't put it away. Mm-hmm.
It's weird being on this side and not have a Steve Nash on the floor. You know, DA was the jam star of the game. I give it to Coach Monty, but as far as player, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, Book was great tonight. He was efficient. He got his points.
That 10-0 run in the fourth quarter with Book,
all Book. You know, once he came back in the fourth, it was over. He took care of us. So did CP3. Both of them had a great night.
Yeah, but okay, I might.
What, CP3? You're not happy with CP3?
Booker had one more field goal made than DA and still had 36. Booker was 11 for 20, 6 of 8 from 3, 8 of 9 free throws, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, only 2 turnovers. Clearly had the ball in his hand more, played more minutes, had 36 points. I think we just want to give it to DA because he actually did good and everyone's like, this is what I'm talking about. DA can do this.
You know, I'm trying to look for who said this up here. It might have been Roy, it might have been Charles, but we get this DA, and I honest to God believe we can win a title this year. Not next year, not 2 years. Come at me.
Bro, we said that game 4 of the on our podcast. That ain't nothing new. We know that.
But we got to see it tonight. You know, like we don't always get to see it. That was it tonight. That hunger for the ball, that running down the court, getting in position because you know you have a mismatch. Man, so happy, dude. So happy. We need him hot like that before this game against Gobert.
Let's shout out the chat real quick. King and Pedro, what's going on, y'all? Roy, if you guys don't follow Roy on Twitter, you need to. He is an excellent follow. Iverson Vlogs, it was good going back and forth with you a little bit during the game. Jason Joyce, Mega Khalid 121, what's good, bro? The basketball and football guy has now turned into a regular, so it's good to see you in here again. And of course, Bo Strobel, a burner. If I missed anybody, I'll hit you guys up later, Charles. So thank you guys for listening. But you just touched on it. Ayton and Gobert, man, coming up. Like, I don't even want to talk about the rest of this game. You know what I mean? Like, they did what they were supposed to do. They did everything correctly in the final few minutes, except for those inbound plays where Jay Crowder threw at half court and stolen for Kelly Olynyk 3. Like, stuff like that is just driving me insane. No, sport chop. What's going on, man? Those things were ridiculous, but it doesn't matter anymore. We won the game. Any away game that you win in the NBA is a good win. It's all about the Jazz now, man. It's all about it. And they lost tonight to the Mavs, so shout out there.
I'm about ready to get to the Jazz. There's just a couple more things I want to bring up about this game, and then let's definitely do an intro.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
I am done and turned up for Jazz, so say your piece.
Okay, so Bridges' Law came through tonight. Bridge hit his first
3.
Hit his first 3-point attempt, and we won. That was one of the things that kept me feeling confident about this W tonight. I know Bridges' Law isn't 100% anymore, but it's damn close. It's damn close to an actual law. So that was cool. Kevin Porter Jr., what do you think about him?
How did anybody pass up on him, or how did he not get picked up earlier?
Yeah, because he went to Cleveland and he was supposed to be a stud. He had almost a triple-double
got
tonight.
cut and was a D-bag and got cut, and nobody wanted to pick him up. And he balled out in the G League. He was one of the better players out there, and now he's doing things for Houston. I was very impressed by him. I couldn't believe. I mean, I didn't watch too many Cavs game. I mean, I don't think you did either. But I mean, he had 20 points tonight, 9 and 8. I mean, he looked like a baller out there.
I think he needs to get his handles together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's his handles and his free throw shooting. If he can get those two things in order, because he's a little sloppy with his handle. You know, there was a couple times he's trying to, you know, cook up something and he'd lose the ball and his teammate would catch it, or he'd be going to the rack and he'd lose it. It almost kind of reminds me of Booker, where that's really the only thing that Booker isn't perfect at offensively is his dribbling.
Yes.
He has a little bit of a problem there. That, and then he missed that flagrant foul free throw. He missed 1 out of the 2, and they said he's only like a 52% free throw shooter.
And he made 9 of 10 tonight.
Of course he did, bro. He was on. So yeah, I wanted to shout out Kevin Porter. Other than Wood, I didn't know who was going to play well tonight, but it felt like those two did. And then the other thing, I was thinking about this. I want to know what you guys think. So, like, James Harden is the shit, right? You're a hater?
I'm an Arizona State
this
fan, and
year,
I don't even know if I like
this year. Think about what he's doing this year.
I just don't like the style of basketball, I suppose. So
his
it's not
style
so much
of basketball
him.
has changed this year. Now he's playing like Steve Nash. He's doing
he
everything.
has Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni under him.
You're right. You're right. And he's selfless. You know, Kyrie told him, look, you're the point guard now. I'm the 2 guard. You run the offense. I'm going to just score, because that's what he wants to do. Harden he's got this newfound respect with everybody in the league, because we all knew he was a killer offensively. But now you're getting to see him step in and be an actual, honest to God, 5-star floor general, orchestrating one of the most potent offenses you've ever seen. The way he runs pick and rolls, I'm just saying, man, it's impressive that he's not only a killer of a scorer, but he's also like showing to be one of the best point guards we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just saying that newfound respect that he has, I'm realizing Chris Paul's been doing that his whole career. If Chris Paul wanted to be like James Harden and get 40 points, 35 points a night, Chris Paul could have done it. But Chris Paul has been in Nets James Harden mode his whole career by choice. He's doing this because he's just a winner. And I see Harden as being a winner right now. CP3's had that headset his entire life, his entire career. And I honestly think if he had to step in and be our leading scorer, he could. He just doesn't, because he's unselfish and he knows better. Am I off?
No, you're not off. I just hate the faking fouls all the goddamn time and the flopping and the BS that comes along with. I hate that style of play, the fishing for calls. I think it's wrong. I think it's cheating the game that I love so much. I think it needs to be done away with, and I hate him for that. Even if he's not doing that this year, which I'm not watching all the net stuff. It's hard to watch all the games you can, especially with a 2-year-old running around and a wife in surgery.
Right.
But, I hate him for that. I don't care that he forced a trade off the team. Like, I really don't. I hate that he gave up on the team. It's fine if you want to force the trade because all the players need to do what they need to do in their best interests. You and I are going to go quit jobs and get a new job, if it benefits us. Everybody will do that. So I have no problem with that. It's the style of play. And I hate that. Yeah, his step backs are crazy. All his travel step backs that he doesn't get called for, him and Luka and anybody that tries to bait fouls and that shit with Gary Harris against.
I'm not
Denver
saying I like him. I'm not saying let's throw him a parade. I'm not saying, hey, let's give him props. All I'm saying is his whole career he's been known as a scorer, and now you're seeing that he could also choose to play a CP3 style game. I'm saying I think CP3 is on par with him offensively. I think CP3 just simply chooses not to. He chooses to be the Steve Nash role where he gets everyone involved. I'm just saying I think that Chris Paul is as good offensively as Harden if he wanted to be.
I would agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm looking forward to when he scores 46 in a playoff game for a dub. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and he's going to be on, and he's going to be hitting everything. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I mean, I know everybody's getting on me here, like talking about how I need to get off the weed and stuff. Like, I'm not trying to be excited about Harden. I'm excited about CP3. I heard them talking about that during the game. They're like, yeah, he could be more of a scorer if he wanted. And it just got me thinking about Harden. I think CP3 just has the mindset of a winner instead of having just the mindset of a scorer. And that's something we've been needing for so long. So long, bro. You see they're talking about looking at giving him like a 3-year extension. What do you think about that? I think they were talking 3 years, $60 million.
That'd be fine.
Think that's too long?
Whatever. No, not at all. Whatever. I'm sure there's going to be options at the end, player, team, whatever, as long as that $41 million number a year comes down, that's, 20 is, he deserves 20 at least, right?
I think so. I'm happy with it. Whatever we got to do. This is something. I don't think he's going to take too much money because he's in the twilight and he wants a championship. So I don't think he's going to be gouging us.
He's going to realize that we need talent and we need to free up money. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't plenty of money.
And he's still doing State Farm commercials, yada, yada. Yeah. Every player does this at some point. Brady's been doing it for years. So if CP3 is that dude that wants to pass to everybody else, well, put up or shut up. But that $41 million number has got to come down if we want to have a championship team next year, which we still do this year, but we need to add a piece. We need to add a major piece next year.
Do you think so?
I think we can do it. I think absolutely.
Do you think so? We're going to find out in the playoffs if we need to add a piece one way or another. But
I mean, then you can go ahead and add like an Evan Fournier off the bench because the Galloway.
I hate that dude. I don't want him on our team, even if he can help us.
But we need a dude like that can come out and score 15 to 20 regularly. That's a shooter. You know what I mean? Galloway ain't gonna do it. Payne hasn't done it. Carter hasn't done it. None of those dudes have done it consistently. So we need a legitimate backcourt player to come off the bench. A guy like a Fournier who can just get hot and put up 25 on you.
Hey, maybe Sticks will be kicking by then. We didn't even get to see Sticks tonight, of course, because it was too close of a game. I was really excited. I was hoping we were going to get to see him, but
one thing we didn't bring up about this was with John Wall being out. You always say when your star players are out, the other team knows they're going to get up shots. Crazy things can happen, and that's exactly what happened tonight. No John Wall. Well, I'm taking my shots, and Kevin Porter Jr. absolutely took advantage of that.
Who do you guys think?
Shout out Darth Voida too. Thanks for coming in, bro.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, bro. What do you guys think in the chat? If the Suns need to add a piece next year, say we go through the playoffs this year, we just don't have enough firepower. What is the piece that you guys think we're missing? Because I kind of think we're complete, except for a backup center. So that's why I'm saying I don't think we need like a
Noel
major.
is a free agent.
right now.
He's gonna
Or
be
he
next
will
year.
be.
After this season, he's a free agent. That excites me so much. I would love to get that. We need a backup point guard or a backup two guard that's solid. That's what we really need.
Charles says Kawhi.
He has a player option.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think he would ever choose to come live in Phoenix over living in LA? Just doesn't seem like that's what he wanted,
Who knows? Why not? Crazier things have happened.
Darth Vader says the peace will be determined by how they lose in the postseason.
If they
I
lose.
was just gonna say if Darth, bro. I know you believe, Darth, that there is a path. It may be a Doctor Strange 1 in 14 million path, but there is a path for the Suns to win the title.
Roy's right, dude. You're gonna have to pay that man like $700 million every season just to come here. That's gonna be tough. But dude, things happen. You never know, right? Who would have thought we'd be going to the playoffs this time last year?
This time last year?
Time last year, going in the pandemic, all that stuff. Yeah, things happen, but I do see
Darth clarified. He goes, "Well, the question was if they lose, what do they do?" You're right. You're right. We didn't mean to bait you into that. But what were we saying, Coach?
There is a lot of free agents. If you guys haven't looked, check out the free agent list for next year. Not a lot of huge names like all-stars, except for probably, Kawhi with the option. There are so many on every team, dude. So much. JaVale McGee is one too. Not Cousins, no, but JaVale McGee is one. But anyways, yeah, get a guy like Jordan Clarkson is what Pedro says. Yeah, we need a dynamic scorer in the backcourt, man, off the bench. Someone that's consistent and someone that can actually step in for Booker or CP3 and actually do things. But I also see get that Alonzo Trier trash off this timeline.
Iverson says Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm a big time.
Yeah,
Dinwiddie
absolutely.
fan.
Yes.
He deserves a team where he can get a little bit more play than being on that super duper team. He's probably going to win a title this year, right?
Yes. That's a perfect player to come in and spell Chris Paul. We haven't been able to spell Chris Paul a lot for games.
The only person I like more than Dinwiddie for this squad is Malcolm Brogdon.
He's not coming in for a backup.
No.
He's been a starter.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean with CP3, I don't know.
Thomas Bryant's going to be a free agent after next year. If you could somehow swing a deal for Thomas Bryant. Ever since you said Thomas Bryant, I was like, damn, that would be legit.
Bo Strobel saying Olynyk to replace Frank.
I hate Kelly Olynyk.
I hate Olynyk, but I feel like if he was on my team, I could probably make an exception for him.
Roy, not Rondo. I think we need a guy that's a shot maker and a shot taker and a shot maker.
It's funny Roy says that because I was thinking about that today. Like, what if we got Rondo instead of the Clippers for this playoff run? To have Rondo backing up CP3, that would have been insane. He was backing up Trae Young.
I feel like we need a shot maker, though.
You're right.
So if we get that at the 2-guard spot, I'd be fine with that. And this is for backup, you guys.
Static Truth, TJ McConnell. Good player. I wouldn't hate that.
TJ McConnell versus Gabe Von Carter in a Royal or a TLC match for supremacy of defensiveness on the Suns team. That's what I want to see. But anyways, these are fun things we can talk about after this year, and maybe we can start looking at some things. But man, to my mind, nothing else matters in life right now but beating the Jazz on Wednesday. That is
You're not lying, bro. This is like our March Madness, these next 2 games coming up.
Survive and advance, right?
Yeah. Like I'm sweating already, man. I think literally my hands are sweaty right now just thinking about going up against the Jazz.
Bro, my neighbor across the street, cool ass dude. He's from Michigan, where I lived for years, so we go back and forth with Michigan stuff. And super nice guy. We borrow power tools from each other. Cool dude. But he's been in Salt Lake since he was like 7 years old, and he's never been a huge basketball fan. But all his friends are Jazz fans, and they invited me to a watch party, which they go in the garage. He has the man cave set up there. They do a podcast of their own, not a Jazz one, just like a random one, and they watch sports and bullshit. And they invited me on Wednesday to go watch it with them, and it's 4 of them, 1 of me. So I'm contemplating it. So I'm way excited.
Just take a gun with you in case things go sideways and you need to scare everyone off, man.
Seriously. And
Like
Iverson
white men-
vlogs,
like
yes,
white
I feel
men-
confident.
Like white men can't jump when they lose, when they get scammed, and he jumps over the fence and go gets his gun from his car. But Salty, did you see that? Salty predicts 2 W's.
God damn it.
Salty
Retract
predicts
your
2
message,
W's.
bro. Retract your
Yeah,
message.
that's
Oh, no.
about as jinxy as when I look at the schedule and predict we're never going to lose again.
Seriously. So if you do that too, and he does that, it's a double negative, right?
I said we're probably going to lose one of those games, but I said I'm going to blame it on the refs. It's probably going to be a ref situation where they try to screw us.
I don't care
If we
about the
lose.
Clippers. I care about beating the Jazz on Wednesday. You know me, man.
Big game, man. Biggest game.
Vlogs, I feel very confident because let me throw out a stat for you from tonight's loss to the Mavericks by the Jazz. It was 110-103, and if you guys didn't see, Porzingis was out tonight, and Luka Doncic had to get 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. He had to do a whole lot, but Dorian Finney-Smith randomly with 23 points and going 5 for 12 from 3. But here's a stat of why the Jazz lost versus why they win games. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you, Gabe. 12 of 44 from three-pointer for 27.3%. Does that sound familiar to you? That sounds like us, doesn't it?
Yeah, they definitely live by the 3. Wow, 12 for 44.
Live by the 3, die by the 3. And if you guys remember a few weeks ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, when I just randomly heard on the Jazz ESPN radio here, they were talking about how they were worried. They were just nitpicking, trying to look at things that people could. Yeah, I know, dude. Donovan wanted to watch his brother in Baylor. He wanted to finish the game by the time that one started. He didn't care about tonight, but a bit of
Salty, are you looking at this, bro?
6 for 23. Bite me.
Salty hates Donovan Mitchell because of his stats. 6 for 23. Coach, if you gave me 23 shots in an NBA game, I think I could maybe hit 5 of them.
Facts.
0 for 8 from 3. I'm sorry.
So what I was saying from the Jazz radio about how teams can beat them is if 1, they're cold, and 2, if anybody bodies them and plays physical with them, which we can do. It's hard when you've got big Rudy Gobert and his 17-foot long arms in there, right? But we can do it. But I've been an advocate for just, man, play DA like 4 minutes and let's just go guards out there. Let's do another guard, or let's throw Cam Johnson out there too, or Torrey Craig. And let's just not even make him a factor in the game. And then you can throw on Craig on Donovan Mitchell. You can throw Jay Crowder. Then you're going to throw in McHale. You sprinkle in Gabe Von Carter in there for a possession or two just to change it up and harass him. We have people that we can throw at Donovan Mitchell to throw him off. And then guard the goddamn 3-point line this game. Get to your goddamn man and get over there and guard it, bro. That is the most important thing.
Stay in Joe Ingles' freaking pocket, right?
Yep.
Force Donovan Mitchell to take bad shots the way they say that you can force Booker to take bad shots.
Facts.
And then, I say keep DA out there as much as possible to try to keep what you can from Gobert, because Gobert is not going to score that much. I mean, look at this, 6 for 6 tonight, 14 points, 15 rebounds. If you can keep him somewhere around there, it's another dub for us. Remember, guys, we beat them this year in Utah. So beating them at home without that, terrible above sea level breathing situation, This is it's just we haven't played a tough team in a while, Coach. Isn't that what's the underlying feeling here? We've been playing all these scrubs, just scrubs. When's the last time we played a top flight team?
Been a while.
It really has. I think that's probably where my apprehension. But remember, this is when we play our best.
Exactly. You know, even if we would have lost tonight, I'd have been like, yeah, but we're worried about the upcoming team, so I'm not too worried about it. Now, I mean, we don't have to worry about it because we were looking ahead to the Jazz and we got the win, obviously. I feel very confident with this game. I think we're going to win. I think we could potentially do it in a blowout fashion because I really feel like we have the recipe to beat this team, like up and down. We can guard everybody on their squad. We can guard Bogdanovich. We can guard Conley. Conley and CP3 just kind of throw each other off. Royce O'Neal, you know, he scares me, but he feels like a Jay Crowder to me in a sense where he went 0 for 8 tonight. He can certainly do it again. Donovan Mitchell is not anywhere near as I forget the word as clutch as Devin Booker. You know what I mean? Devin Booker can throw up 15 shots and score 76 points. It would take Donovan Mitchell 200 shots to even break 50. You know what I mean? So I really feel like we have such a big advantage with our personnel versus their personnel if we guard the damn 3-point line. And I know Darth Voida came in here is like, we have good perimeter defense, but there's so many times where Booker and Cam Johnson and dudes won't even throw a hand up when they're going out to the 3, you know? So that scares me. That really scares me, but I think we're going to win.
I do too. Guys, love y'all in the chat. Just want to shout you out again. Pedro, burner account, Humble Rumble, Roy, Iverson, Jason Joyce, Mega Khalid, Darth Voida, of course. King, what's good, bro? Let's see here. Charles, there was somebody upset. Okay, Super Mario Hoops says looking like a Suns Lakers first round is very possible. Bro, oh my God. If we get the Lakers in the first round and we win, I think I'll get a tattoo. And I don't have a single tattoo, so that actually means something, man. I'm the only person in Austin, Texas that doesn't have at least one tattoo. If we beat the Lakers in the first round, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll let you guys pick what kind of Suns tattoo I get. I don't know. But that would be a momentous occasion. Let's see. Humble Rumble, Pedro, Brito. So if you guys don't mind, man, Salty was pointing it out. He says, look, we're 3 subs away from 200. We're sitting on 197. It's no big deal. But if you guys are watching and haven't had a chance to subscribe to us yet, man, we really hope that this will be the episode where you guys decide to hit that subscribe button. And then also, I think we're getting close to 30 likes. Slap that like button if you're in here, man. We appreciate it. Did you hear what I said about the tattoo?
Everyone's keeping you to it. I don't have to. Me and Salty don't
I said
have to.
if
Everybody
we get
else
the
will.
Lakers and we get past them, you know. But
man, if we win a championship, I'll get one. I don't have one either. I will damn sure get one for our first ship.
Let's get one. Like, all right, you'll put your arm up next to mine, and we'll get one that says like Suns Championship, and it goes like off of mine and onto yours. That'd be so dope. We have to put our arms together.
And Salty has to use his right ass cheek for one.
Yes. Because he's always clapping them, you know, on our OnlyFans site.
Yeah,
that'd be hot to death, dude.
Yeah, Bo just asked, did Leezus get his? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not the biggest fan of that dude, but he did get popular because of that. So I think he had to. I don't know.
Man, I probably shouldn't have said I would let it. Definitely not going to be a face tattoo, all right? I'm not Lil Xan. All right, that's not happening.
No regrets?
No regrets. That's what I would get, okay?
So going into this game, how are you feeling about this? Are we gonna blow them out? Are we gonna win? You think this is gonna be the one we lose? Because I feel very confident with our personnel versus that style of play.
I don't know. I just feel like we're gonna win. I don't know. It's hard for me to predict we're gonna like beat them bad, but it's not hard for me to predict we're gonna win. That's weird, man. That's a weird place to be when you're talking about a team like Utah who's number 1 in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but that's just how I feel, man. What about you?
I think we're going to win. I don't know. I honestly don't know by how much. I mean, it could be damn close. The Jazz could be scorching from 3, which they do. They are 16-10 on the road. Yeah, they're 22-2 at home, one of the losses from us, 16-10 on the road. We're 18-8. Ironically, we're 17-6 away. So, man, if Dario can find his shot, if somebody else off the bench can do something, we need to have 2 dudes off the bench that can get hot. You know, that's what we really need. But at the same time, nobody really did tonight, and we scored 100, and I think we scored 100 points in 3 quarters.
It's kind of scaring me though, man. Like, we're scoring a lot, but aren't we supposed to be a top defensive team? Why are we giving up all these giant 130-point games to people?
Well, it's exactly what they said with the 7 minutes or 7 seconds or less team. You know, you put up more shots, you're going to give up more shots, and they played a little bit faster tonight. And the Rockets played fast. The Rockets definitely tried to speed us up, you know? So there's that to take into consideration. But it's hard to guard in the NBA. It's so hard. Why do you think people don't full court press? You can't full court press an NBA team more than 1 or 2 possessions. You can't even zone them. There's so much space to guard. These dudes are so fast and big. Like, you can't even throw a zone out there. That's why you don't see it. It is so hard to hold down NBA players. Like that video, Brian Scalabrine going up against obviously a much more athletic dude, but Scalabrine was, you know, he's in the freaking NBA, dude, and he just scorched that guy by really not even doing anything that difficult. No. He was just better. Yeah, it's hard. Get a dominating tattoo on your back. Okay, if you do get a tattoo, we need to get a poll. We need to get a top 10. And then we just kind of we go on Twitter and we get polls down. I
think I definitely. It's not because I don't want to get a tat, but I think I need to raise the stakes. I think the Suns need to win a title for me to get a tat. But I would probably still do it just for beating LeBron. You know, maybe LeBron crying or something with the score behind it. I don't know. Can't imagine having LeBron on my.
Two really good points. Riverson Vlogs, the player I'm scared for in that game is Clarkson, and then Pedro. CP3 gotta abuse the pick and roll versus Rudy. So 2 things to digest there. 1, Clarkson. Yeah, dude is a scorcher. Dude is a more controlled Leandro Barbosa. Does that make sense? He's more in control. He has been lights out and ended up to be the perfect marriage for them, and everything just clicked for him. It's great. So off the bench, I'm pretty worried about having anybody that could guard him. So I'm wondering if Torrey Craig has the foot speed to keep up with a guy like that. Because if he does, Torrey Craig on him, it's over. Cam Johnson can't guard him. Cam Johnson does not have that foot speed or the defensive prowess by any means. I mean, maybe you just throw out Javon Carter, man. Maybe Javon Carter, you just abuse the hell out of him the whole game. Javon can do it.
I'd put Javon on him. Hell yeah.
I would love to see Torrey Craig go out there and just own him anytime he comes in if he has the foot speed, but I haven't really seen him guard the smaller guys yet.
That would be a good test. That would be a really good test to see what his foot speed is like.
Yeah, if you guys know better, please let me know when it comes to Torrey Craig and guarding guards, like on perimeters and stuff like that. I'm curious to see how that turns out. The second thing was CP3 got to abuse the pick and roll versus Rudy. So everybody has seen how CP3 loves shooting over big guys this year, right? Get to that elbow, step back, sidestep, swipe through, whatever, and he loves shooting. I swear to God, I watch and I feel like it's going to get blocked every time, and the ball just goes barely over the guy, and it's a perfect swish. But this is Rudy, man. This is 7'3" with a 7'6", 7'7" wingspan. Yeah, this is different. So can Chris Paul do that? I think he can. I saw him scorch the Jazz when he was with the Clippers a few years or against the Jazz when he was with the Clippers.
Yeah, man. This is
Rudy Gobert wingspan, 7'9" wingspan. So this is way different, right? This is way different. Even Embiid has a 7'6" wingspan. Giannis has 7'3". So this is Rudy. This is way different. That's why I almost just don't even want to play Ayton, and I just want to spread everybody out.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I could get on board with going small ball against them. Complete small ball. You know?
Why? It takes away the defensive player of the year 2 times. Gone. Any rebound is a fight now with Crowder and McHale and Cam Johnson and Torrey Craig. Like, we have physical dudes, and that's what the Jazz radio said. If you abuse them down low, the Jazz can be beat.
Aiton's my guy now.
Hey,
man.
if he comes out and gets 20 and 10 tomorrow, that's a dub.
I'd
if
be
he
happy
comes
if
out-
he just goes blow for blow and negates what Gobert does. I'd be happy with that. If he just battles Gobert well and just, handles his business and looks good, I'll be happy, because that's going to bode well for the playoffs, man. Him going into a playoff series potentially against that team and knowing I handled him twice this year, I can do this. It's going to be big, man.
I completely agree. And now that I'm even talking about it and thinking about it more, like, you have to play DA and you have to put him out there to see what he can do. He has to contribute. Yes, the Jazz do have other bigs. They've got Derek Favors. So that's a bigger dude. So having Saric guard him, that part worries me.
So I talked to a friend last night. I was over at a friend's house, and he's a Mavericks fan. And so we got on the topic of Porzingis. I told him about the podcast. I told him how I'm the only guy that likes Porzingis, and everybody flames me over it, calls him a glass bitch.
Rightfully so.
And he was trying to get me to take the Mavs seriously. And he's like, look, man, we're not the same Mavs team that we were earlier in the season. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen you guys have been better lately. And he literally made me sit down and watch Luka Doncic's highlights last night of the last couple of games, like him versus the Celtics.
Ugh.
Of course I didn't want to watch it, but I got to tell you, he got me thinking, man, that the Mavericks are kind of back on the radar as a team that we're going to have to take seriously.
Well, they were under 500 for the longest time, and now they're 28 and 21.
Now they're 28 and 21. They just handled the Jazz. Luka is hitting everything right now. He's been scorching hot. And the game I watched was just a few games ago. So I said, okay, is this new? Is this just, or is this an every game thing? He's like, dude, it's been this way for the last few weeks. He's been hitting everything. And bro, we're talking 35, 36, 37 foot step back threes that are completely unguardable. And you already know the way that the refs treat him. So they're going to send him to the line 20 free throws a game.
They're
Plus
15 and 6 their last 21 games.
They're back. They're back in the hunt, man. They're back in the hunt. So I showed him the schedule. I showed him how we've beaten them the last 7 games we've played them. He was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. I guess you guys do have our number, but he's like, we're not the same team because Luka's on effing fire right now. So that's just something we need to worry about. But because we could very likely get the Mavericks in the first round.
Yeah, I'm just not worried right now because, one, they have to go through the play-in game, even at the 7 seed. 7-8 play the 9 and 10 seed. So they got to go through that first, and it gives us rest. Second, all I care about is the Jazz on Wednesday. Because just play our best basketball and everything. Let the cards lie where they are.
Well, I guess I just wanted to bring up that I think me and him jinxed Porzingis because we were talking about Porzingis and how great he is, both of us loving him, and we're like, yeah, he's a little bit of a glass bitch, but man, he's so today sprained wrist out. Did you see that?
Yep.
So yeah, Darth is saying we're 18 and 3 in our last 21. It's terrific. But
man, we're so goddamn jaded. We're looking at these other teams. Oh, they're 15 and 6. Yeah, we're 18 and 3, and we're scared of these other teams. We're so damn jaded with this team.
Well, it's just because in the West, when you're the number 2 seed, you get to go up against somebody like the Mavericks. Now, if we were in the East, we'd be going up against who, bro?
Yeah,
no one. Garbage. It would be a cakewalk to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It'd be
But we
the
have to worry
Hornets,
about
Celtics,
everyone.
or Knicks. Yeah.
That's what the problem is, man.
That's to be the best, you got to beat the best. It's the playoffs. It is what it is. We've been able to beat Luka with Mikhail.
Darth, I've been saying the same thing. I told him straight. I'm like, bro,
Bring them on.
we kind of own you. I hate to tell you this. And he's like, let me look at the schedule. And we looked back. we beat them first game of the season. Then we had a back-to-back with them, beat them both of those games, beat them in the bubble, beat them the game before that, beat them the beginning of the season. Like, I know we've got them, right? But this isn't the Mavs team that we've been beating up. They're playing different right now. I mean, they just handled the Jazz. That should be evidence to it, you know. He says, "Let's not be scared. Let's enjoy that we are kicking ass and let the chips fall where they may." That's true, man. I just don't know how to do that. I'm not conditioned for that. I've been a Suns fan.
I've been saying.
I'm just not used to it, man. I'm not used to it. I don't know how to act. I'm not used to my Suns being great.
I feel you. Just, part of it is just also, listen, even if we get bounced in the first round, I think we all need to enjoy this ride a little bit too, this game by game ride. But it's hard for me to do that because now I'm starting to judge them on a championship caliber, and I'm looking at this team with different goggles. So on one hand, enjoy the ride. At this time last year, we didn't have sports for like 4 or 5 months. We had nothing and it was awful. So any basketball is good basketball. Any sporting event is a good event. But at the same time, chances like this don't come too often. You've seen it with your Bears in your lifetime. I've seen it with all my teams in the Valley, especially with the Suns. This just doesn't come around often. So drink it in, soak it in, enjoy every single game, every moment, every time you start hearing Kevin Ray and Eddie Johnson, do a little toast, man. It's great. But man, I'm looking at a championship this year, and this team has a lot of the characteristics of a championship caliber team. So I feel you, but I guess every man's got to deal with it his own way, right?
Man, you got me nervous here talking about a championship. I thought our window was next 3 years, but yeah, I've been saying this. If we get this Ayton in the playoffs,
yes,
we can win a championship. I know that sounds so blasphemous to people, I know that sounds so crazy to go from what we were to what we are now, but I agree, man. I agree.
And if we beat the Jazz, Are you thinking championship then? Like at what point are you going to start thinking about it? Because these are all teams we can beat. We lost to the Clippers after going down 31 points, went down 1 and had a chance to win that game. We've already beaten the Jazz. We've beaten every team in the Eastern Conference and almost beat the Brooklyn Nets with Harden.
We were beating the shit out of the Nets and just
that's what I'm saying.
Let them come back.
So, at what point do we realize that we're a championship caliber team? What is it for you?
For me, it's after these next 2 games. These 2 games are going to tell me everything I need to know about what to expect in the playoffs. We come out and look strong and beat these 2 teams, bro, y'all are going to have to rein me in because I'm going to be on one. Bro.
And you would have every right to be, and I would be the one being like, every game, look to the next one, because if we go ahead and we lose the next game after that to a trash team, or it's like going back to square one again, right?
But the only thing that matters is the Utah game.
Thank you.
And if we win it, I'm gonna be walking around like Ric Flair, woo, all night. So get ready for that shit. It's gonna be annoying.
That will not be annoying. We will have, if we win a championship, we will literally have a 12-hour straight podcast on here afterwards. I will be up in the middle of the night. I ain't going to work next day. Nothing.
Snorting coke. Just kidding. But you get the idea.
I would fly to Phoenix to watch the parade.
Shit, dude. I'll definitely fly to Phoenix for that.
Absolutely. Like no
way ahead
questions
of us.
asked.
Way ahead of ourselves. We can't be talking about Phoenix championship parades. We got to get past
we have championship qualities and characteristics on this team. We do. Nobody can say otherwise. We do.
We do. If we win a title, I really will let Geek out of the basement.
Just for the offseason.
He'll be free forever. Man. Anyways, you got anything else, Coach?
You want to go into the rest of the NBA and what they did today?
Yeah, let's look at that real quick.
Yeah, and some standings have changed. We haven't played in 2 days, so there's some standings updates, but the Raptors got a dub over the measly Wizards. The Nets, I was kind of keeping track of this game. The Nets were down big time. Harden went out with his hamstring. That's just goes to what I'm saying. KP just got injured. Davis and Anthony Davis and LeBron are out right now. KD hasn't played in who knows how long. And then James Harden, after 4 minutes, hurts his hammy. Like, dude, anything can happen. That's why I'm a little on cloud 9 tonight, maybe, because I see these things. But the Nets pulled out, and Kyrie with ridiculous 40 points. I don't know if you guys saw his highlights on Twitter, SportsCenter, and everybody was posted him. Dude, Kyrie is just nuts. Best handles I've ever seen, bar none. Dude, if he wasn't so crazy, he could be one of the best players to ever play this game. It's insane.
I totally agree.
Julius Randle with a triple-double tonight, future Phoenix Sun in my mind. And then we just went over the Mavericks beating the Jazz, which was awesome. The T-Wolves beat the Kings. Cat with 23 and 13, De'Aaron Fox with 31. Pistons beat the Thunder. The Thunder still don't have any, but Jeremy Grant had 21. The Cavs beat the Spurs. Spurs are doing the downward trend like we all thought they would. Darius Garland had 37 points. And then, of course, your Phoenix Suns beat the Rockets. So pull up the standings, bro. Where are we at? Like, we don't really go into the Eastern Conference, but I'm kind of curious. Can we look at those real quick?
Yeah, here you go.
Where are we at? So we've got Brooklyn.
We'd be number one in behind.
Wow. No, Brooklyn has a higher winning percentage, so they would be up just a smidge. They have a 68.686. We have like 714.
Yeah, that's higher.
Oh wait, yeah. No, you're right. We would.
No.
So we are the second best team in the league. I read that backwards. Philly, Milwaukee 3, Atlanta 4. Who knew? Miami's going to come up. They're going to do better. Charlotte, Gordon Hayward just went out. I think they're going to come back down to reality a little bit, but they're still better than Boston. New York is teetering up and down, but they're at 500. Indiana and then Chicago. Yeah, those are the best 10 teams right there. So Chicago and Boston would play each other, and then New York and Indiana right now. Those would actually be really good games for the play-in games. But down to the Western Conference, the beasts in the West here. Forget the East. Utah, Phoenix Suns, 2.5 games back. So we win tomorrow and we're a game and a half back. That's nuts. And we still have to play the Jazz a second time at home. Wow. So 12. How many games do we have left? 23 games. What's that math? Do you want to know a magic number or should we wait?
Is it 12 now?
It's down to 12.
It's down to 12.
Down to 12. Obviously, other teams can lose more games, and so that number would go down rather fast. But we're talking about a magic number going down to 12. A week and a half ago when I first brought it up, it was 18. Now look at it that quickly. Clippers are 3 games back. So we lose this game, and then Clippers play tomorrow. So if we lose the Jazz and then we lose to the Clippers, they could shoot ahead. Nuggets at 4, killing it with Aaron Gordon. The Lakers just are kind of coasting right now, but they could easily drop back or even scoot up. Portland, Dallas, and Memphis to round out the 8. And San Antonio is going to drop, man. I think New Orleans is going to get that last spot. San Antonio is going to drop.
Oh, you think New Orleans is going to jump up there?
Yeah, I think New Orleans will. San Antonio will drop out. I mean, Golden State looks like trash right now, too, so they could easily drop out, and San Antonio could make it by the skin of their teeth.
So
but any of those teams are in play.
What happened to Paul Pierce? Weird segue.
Did y'all see that on the chat? Did
what
y'all
happened?
see what happened? So Paul Pierce went on Instagram Live last night, and he had nothing but strippers and half-naked women twerking behind him, and he's like showing the camera like this, all the ass and everything behind him, and gets fired off of ESPN. Sends out a tweet this afternoon with a smile being like, big things coming. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You just got fired. I went into it a little bit deeper. So everybody thinks he was trying to pull a James Harden to get fired off of ESPN so he could go to like Fox Sports or something like that and get a bigger deal.
That makes sense. But yeah, that's crazy.
What a way to get fired.
Hope he's not married. Roy says he's opening a strip club. That's what I was gonna say. Is he pimping now? Is that his next move? But no, that's funny. Yeah, I was wondering what happened.
Players do that on every road trip. Not this year, but yes, they do. All the strippers are broke in Houston now, thanks to James Harden leaving.
Yeah. So, Coach, what do you think about doing a watch stream? I know we've talked about this. Do you think you're gonna be able to pull that off?
I think potentially Wednesday or Thursday. Today's Monday. Potentially Thursday. If not, it'll have to be next week. My wife still can't lift things, so if anything's wrong with my
So not for this Utah game.
Yeah, I couldn't do it this week.
Okay.
So if anything happens with my son, she can't lift him out of the crib and all that stuff. But I mean, I could always do what I do here and just go off for a little while and come back.
For sure. Yeah, I think that would be cool. We'll have to talk to Salt, see what he's doing Wednesday.
Wednesday's the Jazz game.
Okay.
Thursday is the Clippers game.
I thought we had a game a night in between the Jazz and Clippers.
Today's Monday, bro. It's Wednesday we play them.
Yeah, but I thought then we played Friday.
No, it's back to back. It's legit back to back.
That sucks.
Nah, we got this.
We're pretty good on back to backs, though.
We're good on back to backs. We play better against those teams. I just had their schedule, if I'm not mistaken. I know tomorrow or Wednesday it's on ESPN against the Jazz, and then TNT on Thursday. They are 8:00 times for me, so it's potential I could watch some of it, maybe at halftime or before then. Put my son down and then hop back on. So we can talk offline about it.
Yeah, man. Let us know what you guys think, man. If you still want to do that with us, we're thinking about getting in here and doing a watch party where we can just kind of chat and talk while we're all watching the games on different screens and shit. So let us know what you think, man. We love you guys, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys coming out. Great win tonight. Looked like a loss, but we got it, and that's why I'm happy, man, because we're winning games versus bad teams, and these games matter, man. These games matter for seeding. You know, we need a friendly seeding situation in the playoffs. What's up, Random Talk Podcast? What's going on, bro? But yeah, the guys they're looking like they want to do a watch party. Charles wants to do a watch party with the Yotes. No one cares about hockey. This is America. All right,
guys, please share this out. Before the Jazz, I want to get 200 subscribers. We are 3 away.
Yeah.
So guys, please share this out, like it, help us out a little bit. We make content, not only for us, but we love interacting with you guys. That's been the most fun that I've had. I don't know about you. When we started, it was cool, but once we started getting people in here and chatting with them, it just took it to another level.
Yeah.
So you guys are awesome.
Salty was telling me the cool thing about doing these podcasts and getting into like YouTube is the community that you build and like you meet all these friends and stuff. I was telling him the other night, I kind of didn't take that seriously, but now, man, we got all these people we're talking with on Twitter, and it's just like, man, it's like the unintentional funnest part about this is having all these new friends and everybody to talk Suns with. So guys, please keep helping us build the channel and the Discord and just our community, man. We love you guys. You can follow me at Gabe Von Carter. You can follow the podcast at Suns Valley Pod. Coach is on Twitter at Coach Evan B. Suns win. We will see you guys in a couple of nights for the biggest back-to-back.
Talk your shit, Suns fans.
In the season, right? We'll see you
Talk
guys
your
then,
shit,
man.
Suns fans.
Suns win.
Let's get ready to rumble! Barkley, 24, The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! 22.5. Brooklyn is also gets inside and hammers it down.